Thank you so much for joining us for today's webinar. I, Deepti Singh, Assistant Professor at Government Engineering College, Bilaspur, and your host for the session, will privilege to extend my warm welcome to one and all presented here. As we all know, that on 29 July 2020, Union Cabinet of India has approved new education policy named the National Education Policy 2020, that is NEP 2020, which envisions an India-centric education system that contributes directly to transforming our nation sustainably into an equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing high-quality education to all. And in the same regard, Government Engineering College Bilaspur is organizing this webinar titled Towards a More Holistic and Multidisciplinary Education Through NEP 2020. To know more about this webinar, I would like to invite Dr. ML Agrawal, Head of the Department Civil Engineering and Coordinator of this webinar. Sir.
Good evening, everybody present here. Respected Sri Diwakar Misra ji, retired IFS officer and State Project Administrator for SPIU Chhattisgarh. Very soon he will join. He is our chief guest of today's event. Respected Professor Wadhwani, Professor of Electrical Engineering from MITS Gwalior and expert speaker of today's event. Respected Professor Okade, expert speaker of today's event. He is assistant professor in Electronics and Communication Department, NIT Rourkela. NIT Rourkela is our mentor institute also under TechCube 3. Respected Professor B.S. Chawla, Principal of Government Engineering College, Bilaspur. Dear colleagues who have joined here for this seminar and students, I welcome you all on behalf of Government Engineering College, Bilaspur and my own behalf in this online webinar on the topic towards a more holistic and multidisciplinary education through National Education Policy 2020. We all know the efforts of our central government. In 2020, the new education policy has come and we are in the implementation phase of this new education policy. So to understand the new education policy in a better way so that we can implement it in a proper way, this particular online webinar that has been organized to get the insight about the different aspects of this new education policy 2020, and special emphasis will be on this particular topic towards a more holistic and multidisciplinary education, because new education policy itself is a very big document or very big thing actually. So it is not possible to cover all the aspects all together in a day's seminar or like that. So for this today's webinar, we have kept the topic of the webinar related to holistic approach and multidisciplinary approach that has been taken, particularly in our new education policy for the development of the overall development of the students, so that by these two approaches, the education that may be more fruitful, not only for getting only the jobs, but that will really contribute to become a better citizen. That is the main aim of this new education policy. With this, I welcome you all in this online webinar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that impact lasts in your absence. With these words, I would like to invite Dr. V.S. Chawla, Principal, Government Engineering College, Bilaspur, to share his views regarding this new education policy. Sir, please.
Yeah, thank you, Deepi. Professor Arun Badhwani ji, expert speaker, Professor Manish Bogde ji from NIT Rourkela, another expert speaker, Chief guest of today's function, Sri Diwakar Mishra ji, retired IFS, and SP of SPIU Chhattisgarh. Coordinator of today's webinar, Professor M.L. Agrawal, Dean Academics, Government Engineering College, Bilaspur. All HODs, faculties, and dear students in the audience. The topic chosen on NEP is more holistic and multidisciplinary education. How to achieve this through NEP? We are into education, and certainly we should know best about the policy because we are directly going to be affected by it. Earlier, policy was introduced in 1986, almost 35 years back, and then it was modified after 6 years in 1992. So almost 29 years have passed. Then it was realized that though we have the largest percent of youth, young manpower in the world, but we don't have any direction that is how we should use their talent. So certainly education is the only way by which the population can be converted to strength, as it has been done in China and other countries who are more populous. Our education was just one way. There was no thought on learning as well as mental development. Just you had to mug up the content, get a degree, and later on when you face competition, then you come to learn that your aptitude was not at all suitable for this particular degree. You don't have any skill. So government has given emphasis on this, that in school, in place of this 10 plus 2, now it will be 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So in the age of 18 years only, the students will be allowed to enter into college, which was earlier 16 years age. So more time will be given in schooling, and in place of starting age of 5 years, now it is 3 years. So after 3 years, the student will be allowed to go to school. So early start will give him sufficient time to get maturity before choosing his career. Thought is this, that if government's resources, government's money is being invested to make the manpower useful, then certainly this skill should be such that our manpower can be mobilized and they can move anywhere in the globe. Wherever they go, they will have the best knowledge with some skill. So in school, one vocational training has been made compulsory, and in colleges, you have flexibility. If you want to drop after first year, you will be given a certificate. After 2 years, diploma. After 3 years, degree, and after 4 years, PG will be awarded to you. So multiple exit points have been given. Presently, the system is only after 4 years of education, you will get degree, or after 3 years of education, you will get graduation, or after 2 years only, you will get diploma. No exit points are there. So multiple exit, multiple entry points have been provided into this new policy with this thought that students will have flexibility. As per their choice, they will have option to quit, to re-enter, to choose any topic, and AICTE in the same line has planned flexible system of learning. Along with your current system, now online mode will also be encouraged. MOOCs will be encouraged. Some credits will be there in those subjects which you have chosen through NPTEL or other MOOCs. So those subjects the students can take, and those credits will be transferred to your final mark sheet. So the suggested model will be now hybrid kind. It will be offline as well as online. In the same line, we are also working, our government is also working. So today's talk will give us better insight, more clarity on new education policy, and will be able to learn many things by the learned speakers. With these, I conclude. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for beautifully highlighting all the important points of NEP 2020. And now, without a further ado, let's begin this session by inviting our first guest speaker, Dr. A.K. Wadhwani, Professor of Electrical Engineering Department at MITS Gwalior. He has completed his master's degree from University of Roorkee and PhD from Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee. He has a long and wide experience of 32 years with academia and research and published more than 125 research papers in various international and national journals and conferences. He has also guided many PhD and master research scholars and also supervised a number of research projects sponsored by different funding agencies. He is well known for his contribution in biomedical engineering, measurement and instrumentation, and signal processing. Moreover, he is also working as a social worker since last 35 years. Sir, we are truly honored to have you here and request you to share your ideas with us.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Evening.
evening. Most welcome. Most welcome,
Yes, sir.
Professor Wadhwani.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, just a minute, sir. I am share my PPT. Hello, sir. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes. So, good evening to all of you. And so today I'm giving a talk on this National Education Policy 2020. So, according to this one, what is the agenda, the vision, and the key principle? Universal access and the early childhood education. They also focused on the early childhood education, just like the principle of the GEC Bilaspur, Dr. Chawla sir already said this one. This early education at the age of 3 years it will be started. So how the children will learn curriculum and pedagogical structures, curriculum, learning outcomes, schools, teachers' education development, key focus areas, and the goals and the implementation plan. So the next one is the vision of the National Education Policy 2020. So according to that, an education system that contributes to an equitable and vibrant knowledge to society by providing high quality education to the all. So all the peoples will be provided the high education quality education. Develops, second point, develops a deep sense of respect toward the fundamental rights, what are the duties, constitutional values, bonding with one's country, and conscious awareness of one's role and the responsibility in changing the world. Third point, in skills, values, dispositions that support the responsible commitment to the human rights, sustainable development, and living the global well-being, thereby reflecting truly global citizen. So these are the visions of this new education policy. The key principle: respect for the diversity and the local context. Second, equity and inclusion is the cornerstone of all the educational decisions. Then community participation, such as encouragement and facilities for philanthropic, private, and the community participation. Use of technology in teaching and learning, removing the language barriers. What are the language barriers of a particular place? So you have to remove these language barriers for Divyang students and in educational planning and the management. Emphasize the conceptual understanding rather than rote learning and the learning for exams. Just to they have to learn for the practical. What are the exact practicals are there? Practical, physical. What are the in life? What are the they face the problems? So how to just to train the student unique capabilities, recognizing, identifying them in each student, then critical thinking and creativity to encourage the logical decision making and innovations. Continuous review based on the sustained research and the regular assessment by the educational experts. So these are the key principles of the policy. The universal access to early childhood care and the education. So universal access for children 3 to 6 years. Access to free, safe, high quality. Free, safe, and high quality and free schools just like Balvatika and so on. Foundational learning curriculum for age group of 3 to 8 divided into two parts. First one from 3 to 6 and second one from 6 to 8 in class 1 and class 2 in the primary school. Then multifaceted, flexible, multi-level, play-based, activity-based, and inquiry-based learning. Fourth one is a preparatory class. Prior to the age of 5, every child will move to a preparatory class or Balvatika. Before that is before the class 1. Ensuring the universal access to the education at all levels. Multi-level pathways to learning involving both formal and non-formal education modes. Build the schools, promoting the both government, non-governmental, private organizations to build the schools. Learning outcomes. Focus will be on achieving the desired learning outcomes at all levels. Next, peer tutoring, suitable for all categories, business and the personal presentations. Alternative centers and innovative education centers, and to bring and drop out the children back to the school. What happens due to any reason, the students are stop their education. So again, to bring back the dropout students to back to the school. Expected outcomes: universalization of the access, ensure equity and inclusion, bring back 2 crores out of the school children, attain the SDG goals of returning all children in schools until completion of the secondary education, then improve the quality and the achievement of the learning outcomes, focus on the 21st century skills in teaching, learning, and assessment, resource sharing, school complexes, effective governance, separation of the power and the common norms, overcoming the language barriers in the learning, common standards for public and the private school education. So, sir, these threads are clearly visible. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. What are the goals? No poverty, zero hunger. These are the aims. Sustainable development goals to transform our world. No poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and the infrastructure, reduced inequality, sustainable cities and the communities, responsible consumption and the production, climate action, life below water, life on land, and so on. So these are the aims, these are the goals to achieve them. That's why this policy is coming. The government has decided to implement this policy. How the children will learn? By transforming the curriculum and pedagogical structure. So this is the existing system of the structure of the academics. 2 years, 10 years, age 6 to 16 and age 16 to 18. And here the new educational policy, the Balvadika from 3 to 6 years, then class 1 to class 2, age 6 to 8, and then age 8 to 11, class 3 to class 5th, and 6 to 8th, that is age of 11 to 14, and fourth one, the class 9 to 12th, age 14 to 18. This is the decided by the in the new education policy. So the first one, the new pedagogical and the curriculum structure of the school education, 5 plus 3. This is 5 plus 3 plus 3 and then 4. 3, 3, 4 and this is 5. So 3 in Anganwadi are preschools and 12 years in the school. Secondary stage, multidisciplinary study, great critical thinking, flexibility and student choice of subjects. This is the secondary stage. Next, the middle stage, experimental learning in the science, mathematics, arts, social science and the humanities. Then preparatory stage, play, discovery, activity-based and interactive classroom learning. And the fifth one is the multi-level play activity-based learning. So these are the transforming the curriculum to the existing system. This is the existing structure, academic structure, and this is the new academic structure. So this is divided by the age groups, different age groups. Early childhood care and the educational framework. National curriculum and pedagogical framework for early childhood education will be drafted by the NCERT. Research and the best practices will be aligned with the latest research on the ECCE and the national and the international best practices. Third one is a multi-phase framework comprising of alphabets, languages, numbers, countings, colors, shapes, indoor and outdoor plays, puzzles and logical thinking, problem solving, drawing, painting and other visual art, craft, drama, music, etc. Then school preparation module, a 3-month day-based school preparation module for all grade 1 students to be developed by the NCERT. So early childhood education, learning in the formative years, developing the curiosity, logical thinking. This is our aim, to develop the curiosity in the student, logical thinking and the problem solving. arts, crafts, and the musics, relationship, nature, colors, shape, alphabets, and the numbers, play-based and the discovery-based learning, teamwork, and the collaboration, ethics, self-identity, and etiquette, behavior, and the emotional development. The behavior and the emotional development, behavior to the in the society, other peoples. It is most important. So attainment of the foundational literacy and the numeracy by grade 3 in the mission mode. Early learning, so focus on the early reading, writing, and the mathematics. Book promotion, national book promotion policy will be formulated, and public and the school libraries will be expanded. National missions on foundational literacy, foundational skills, universal acquisition of the foundational learning skills, 3-month play-based school, national respiratory, then school libraries, and so on. Next one, the curriculum. Core essentials. Curriculum in all subjects to be reduced to its core essentials. What are the core subjects? Core essentials for the student. Then focus on the critical thinking, inquiry, discovery, discussions, analysis-based teaching, learning methods for holistic education. So what are the essential subjects? What is the learning? What are the other discussions or discoveries are required for this holistic education? So this is comes under critical thinking. And then the interactive class, interactive teaching with reduced dependency on the textbook learning. Questions from the students will be promoted. But in existing system, even in the class, no student is, or few students are asking the questions only. So here the interactive classes, interactive teaching will be reduced with reduced dependency on the textbooks. Learning questions from the students will be promoted here. Experimental learning, fun, creative, collaborative, and exploratory activities in the classroom for experimental learning and deeper students learning. Focus on those competencies and the subject integration. Competency-based education. So modules on preparing and implementing pedagogical plans based on the competency and outcome-based education for school leaders. Through arts integrated, sports integrated, ICT integrated, information communication technology integrated, and storytelling based pedagogy, among others, as standard. Development of the scientific temper, and the inclusion of the knowledge and the practice of the human and the constitutional values, such as patriotism, sacrifice, non-violence, truth, honesty, peace, etc. These are the essentials. These are the development of the scientific temper. No flaws among the subjects learning. No hard separation between curriculum, co-curriculum, and the extra-curriculum. No hard separation. Academics oblique vocational. Science oblique humanities. Sports, arts, or academics. There is no separation among them. Emphasis on digital library, coding and the computational thinking, ethical and the moral values. Then promotion of the multi-language teaching. So promoting the states to enter into the bilateral agreements with nearby states to hire the language teachers. So because of this, there is no problem of the student whether he's He will he's knowing the language 1, language 2, language 3, language 4, or so on. So any language, in its language, in local language, the teachers are trained to guide them, to teach them like that. Next, the mental and the physical health well-being. Health checkups, annual health checkups for all students, reduce the weight of school bags. Then mandatory skills, health and the wellness. Mandatory skills to be imitated by all the students, health, nutrition, physical education, and so on. Hiring the counselors in the school complexes, state government will be encouraged to hire the adequate number of counselors and the teachers. Focus on the children with disability. Differentiate the interventions and the sustainable infrastructure development at schools to make access easier for children with disability. Inclusive and a caring culture at the school. The role and the expectations of the principal and the teachers will be expected to include developing a caring and the inclusive culture at the schools. Next one, transforming the teacher learning process. Experimental learning, focus on the experimental inquiry and discovery-based teaching learning methods, integrated pedagogy, arts, sports, storytellings, ICT-based integrated education, promoting peer tutoring as voluntary and joyful activity under the supervision of the teachers. Equal weightage, no hard separation between the curriculum, co-curriculum, and the extra curriculum. And various days, use and the integration of the technology. Textbook with local content and the flavor. All textbooks to contain only essential core material, while capturing any desired lessons and the supplementary materials as per the local context and the needs. Affordable, high quality, inner-ized textbooks to be provided along with the free digital version on the Diksha platform. It states to prepare their own curriculum and textbook based on NCERT curriculums and the textbook incorporating the state flavors and the materials as needed. Concerted efforts through suitable changes in curriculum and the pedagogy to significantly reduce the weight of the school bags and the textbooks. India's futures and the India's leadership role in upcoming fields. Computational thinking, mathematical thinking and the problem solving. Computational thinking activities involving coding will be introduced in the middle age, including contemporary subjects in the schools, teaching of the contemporary subjects at middle age and the secondary stage, artificial intelligence, design thinking, holistic health, organic living, environmental education, global citizenship, and education. Knowledge of India. So video documentaries on inspirational memories of the India in science beyond. Students will be given a logical framework for making the ethical decision at a young age. In later age, expanded along themes of the cheating, violence, bickering, tolerance, equity, empathy, traditional Indian values and all basic humans and constitutional values will be developed in all students. This is the main aim. Except from the Indian Constitution will also be considered an essential reading for all the students. Basic training in the health, mental health, good nutrition, personal and the public health, disasters response and the first aid will also be included. Will be incorporated on an accurate and a scientific manner. India's knowledge system, including tribal knowledge, indigenous and the traditional ways of learning will be covered. A specific course forest management, traditional management, natural farming will also be made available. Curriculum to include the knowledge from ancient India to modern India as well as the future aspirations. Scientific explorations of the detrimental and the damaging effects of alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs will be part of the curriculum. So this is the examinations in the grade 1 to 8. Key stage assessment, achievements of the critical levels, moving away from the rote learning, results of the school examinations. Reforming the examination in grade 9 to 12, including the board examinations. Board examination will be made easier as they will test primary core capacities and the competencies. Variable models to be explored, annual system, semester system, modular exams, two-part exams, objective type exam, descriptive type exams, and so on. Guidelines will be prepared by the NCERT. Then transforming the culture of the assessment. Continuous tracking of the learning outcomes of each child. Board exams to be more flexible with assessment of the essential skills. Assessment to focus on core concept and higher order foundations. AI-based software to help break the progress of the students to enable them to make the optimal career choices. National assessment center will help in bringing the greater in board examinations conducted by various boards of assessments. Then self-assessment and the peer assessment. National testing agency will work to offer a high quality common aptitude test to eliminate the need for taking coaching for these exams. Next, the holistic progress card. So according to this, states or union territories to redesign the progress card in schools or colleges to make them holistic 360-degree multi-dimensional report. 360 degree means whether how is his power communication, how is he's interested in which game. So academics as well as just like games, sports, and other leadership. So this is the 360-degree role of the student in all other fields, including the academics. Otherwise, sometimes what happens, few students are very experts in the sports, few students are experts in academics. So the aim of this new education policy is to train the student in all the direction, multi-direction. That means he is having the students may have the quality of leadership, having the quality of sports, good communication power, good behavior, ethics, and so on. So this is the 360-degree multi-dimensional report will be prepared for each student. Progress card will include self-assessment, peer assessment, and the teacher assessment. Card to reflect the progress and the uniqueness of the learner in the cognitive, affective, socio-emotional, and the psychomotor domains. Progress in project-based, inquiry-based learning, quizzes, role plays, group work, portfolios, etc. to be included in the report card. Right. So which portfolio is students is doing the work for this portfolio, or role plays, or quizzes, or group work, whether it is possible for the student to work in a group, or sometimes what happens, few students are not, they are facing a problem in a group work, they are doing individuals. So whether it is our aim is to train the students in all the directions. That's why this 360-degree multi-dimensional report card will be prepared. So the holistic progress card will actively involve the parents in their children's education and the development. AI-based software to be developed to help the track growth through school years and to help students make optimal career choice. Then multi the power of the language learning, medium of the instruction up to grade 5, preferably till grade 8 and beyond. The home language, mother tongue, local language. The languages of the India, a fun project activity to be taken by every student. 3 languages to be taught will be decided by the state of the union territories. All classes, classical languages will be widely available in the schools absorptions. Next one, see here. This is the human brain. So ensuring appropriate brain development through play-based early childhood education. So here, see here, this with quality early childhood education, and this is the example of this without quality early childhood education. So see here, these are the different colors. This zone, and here is the black, dark black is there. So in this case, with quality early childhood education, this is blank, and here it will becomes colorful. Different colors are there. Slowly, where the students, where the child at the play-based early childhood education, this is empty, and here it will work. Here different colors are there. So this different colors indicates slowly the student is thinking. His thinking power will become more. So this is the example of the human brain with and without early child education. Then standard setting and accreditation. Setting up to the school standards authorities, self-disclosure of the basic regulatory informations, development of the school quality assessment, periodic health checkups, private schools to be encouraged and enabled to play a beneficial role to ensure all schools follow a certain minimum professional and the quality standards. Public and the private schools, except the central government schools, will be assessed and the accredited on the common minimum criteria. Then the teachers' education. For an integrated B.Ed program, minimum degree qualification for teaching that includes the student teaching at school levels by 2030. And this is for applicants with an existing bachelor's degree in other specialized subjects, and 1 year for those who have completed the equivalent of the 4-year multidisciplinary bachelor's degree or have obtained a master degree in a specialty. So the teachers' education will gradually be moved by 2030 into multidisciplinary colleges and the universities. So in 2030, the aim of this policy is that all the faculty members will gradually moved to multidisciplinary colleges and the subjects, multidisciplinary subjects. That means we cannot say he is a civil engineer or he is a mechanical engineer or he is an electrical engineer or electronics engineer. So in 2030, all they can move in a multi-direction, multidisciplinary subject. So improving the teacher education. So various schemes are available for this teachers education. Study QIP program, CSI program, CSIR program, and other programs. These programs are already existing. Then teachers recruitment development, strengthening the test, certificate course, restructuring test scores, and transparent system. A convenient computerized system for the teachers transfer to ensure the transparency. Then empowering the teachers. A technology-based comprehensive teachers recruitment, planning forecasting exercise to be conducted by the state, career growth to be available for teachers within single schools, national professional standards for the teachers by 2022, improving the service environment, teachers to have more autonomy in choosing the aspects of pedagogy in classroom teaching, academic leadership position to be made available for the teachers, teachers professional development, merit-based tenure track system, minimum 50 hours of continuous of professional development. Then the key areas. Focus on the socio-economical disadvantaged groups, gender identities, particularly females and trans individuals, social cultural identities, geographical identities such as students from the villages, small towns, and the aspirational districts. Disabilities, including learning disabilities, social economic conditions such as migrant communities, low income households, children in vulnerable situations, victims of trafficking, often including child beggars in urban areas and urban poor. So this is more focus will be given to these categories. So gender inclusion funds for female and trans students, safety and the rights, strengthening the expansion of the KGBV up to grade 12, bridging a gender gap, focus of the brightening the gender gap and provide the equal opportunities to all genders. So this is the policies targeted for the girls, thrust on the designing the policies and the skills targeted towards the female students in this. SEDGS, gender sensitivity to be an integral part of the curriculum. Then supporting the children with special needs, regular schooling. Children with special needs will be integrated in the regular schooling process for elementary to the higher educational level. Sometimes what happens, a few students are coming in the institute or sometimes they are not coming. So there are regular schooling. Then modules. We will develop high quality modules to teach Indian Sign Languages, certificate course for pre-service and in-service teachers to become a special educator, enabling the mechanism, assistive devices and the orientation to the parents, alternative forms of the schools will be encouraged to preserve the alternative pedagogical styles. Then vocational education, practice-based curriculum, skill gap analysis, open distance learning mode, exposure to vocational education, Lok Vidya, skills framework, and the vocational crafts. Then Parakh, setting up of the National Center for Performance Assessment, Review and Analysis of the Knowledge for Holistic Development, that is Parakh. So what are the assessment? Shift towards the competency-based assessment, century skills, promoting the critical and the creative thinking aligned to the 21st century in the classroom. So this is the holistic development assessment and the objectives of this Parakh, setting the norms, standards, guidelines for assessment and evaluation, guiding the state achievement survey, conducting the National Achievement Survey, monitoring achievement of the learning outcome in the country. Supports for this is a more useful, more supported for gifted students or students with special talent. So sometimes what happens, few students are having a special talent, they are ignored. So a special attention will also be given on the supports for this gifted students, God gifted students or students with special talent. So encourage the gifted or the talent students pursue beyond the general school curriculum. Project-based clubs to be encouraged and supported and at all levels in the schools, Olympiads and competitions, efforts for interventions in the rural areas and the regional languages to ensure the widespread participation, extensive use of technology to encourage the talented of the gifted children, B.Ed programs to allow the specialization in the education of the gifted children. Otherwise, what happens? It is necessary to you first you do this exam, pass this exam, then you will go for this higher degrees. But in this policy, if the students is gifted students or special talent, so they can directly go to the for higher class, online and the digital platforms. So inclusive and access, enhance the educational access to the disadvantaged group, including the Divyang students. Then blended learning, content creations, digital platforms, ICT-based educational initiatives to be optimized and expanded, private studies to be conducted, expansion of the existing learning platforms, Diksha, Swayam, etc. Then adult education and the lifelong education. Innovative initiatives. So this is the adult education. Why it is called the adult education? Because sometimes what happens, the few persons are there, shopkeeper, they are businessmen, or they are not doing, they are not, they want to learn this education for in a particular area. So that's why it is given the name adult education. So innovative initiatives for the adults with the help of community participation and the technology integration. Then integration with HEIS, integration of the educational centers with HEIS and the other public institutions, technology-based options, technology-based high quality options for the adult learning, such as applications, online course, modules, satellite-based TV channels, and so on. Then online books are available, ICT equipped libraries, adult education centers are to be developed, etc. to be developed through government and the private initiatives. The adult education curriculum to include the following 5 types of program: foundational literacy and the numeracy, critical life skills, vocational skills development, basic education, and the continuing educations. Goals and the timelines for the implementation. So these are the goals: childhood education, 20 for the session 2021 to 22. Then class 10th for 22 to 23, class 11 23 to 24, from 24 to 25 class 12th, and 2025 to 26 new board examination pattern for the class 12 students. Then primary education. So this is the primary education. Second one is the professional and the higher educations, and administration of the higher education, the creation of the academic bank of credit to digital store the academic credits earned from the various HEIs to facilitate the grant of the degree based on the credits earned by over a period of a time, and so on. Then adapting to the AI, artificial intelligence. So what is the role of this artificial intelligence? The artificial intelligence, basically, it is what is the need and what is the importance of this artificial intelligence. So what happens sometimes, simple, I am taking the example of this of any expert in the, suppose in in various fields. Suppose we are saying that he's the expert of the arts, he's the expert of the commerce, he's the expert of the machines, or and so on, or he's a physician, or he's the expert of the heart or ECG, brain signals, like our eyes specialist. We are saying that he's the good orthopedics, like that. So suppose we are considering the simple example. A person who is the expert of the brain. So what happens in case of this? The importance of this AI. So once the student is doing the MBBS or PG program or doctorate program or so on, and after the age of 30, 35, he becomes the expert of a particular field. So what happens? Slowly, when the age is becoming 35 to 40, 45, 50, 56, 60. So at the age of 60, what happens? Slowly, the memory becomes weak, and weakness is there. Because of this weakness, what happens? And loss of memory. The expert, who is the expert of the brain or expert of the eye specialist, what the knowledge he has gained becomes lapse. Slowly it lapse. So what is the use of this here artificial intelligence? You have to extract the knowledge from his brain and store in the form of software in the machine. Right? So once this knowledge is extracted from his brain and you store in the machine, then what happens? If a new student is coming, join the MBBS, so we will provide that. We are having this is our threshold. We are having this knowledge already. Now you work from this to this one, this platform to this threshold to over above this threshold. Otherwise, what happens? It will start again beginning from the zero. So, and also the government is also once the person is doing MBBS PG programs, so government gives the money. Government expenditure is there for on their education. So so this expenditure of the government, as well as the person will be trained, so his knowledge is also lapsed. So there is a loss. So that is the need of present day in every area. That's why this use of this artificial intelligence is very, very essential in the coming days. So this adopting the AI, and so in the multidisciplinary means once is doing a person who is doing the electrical, suppose he's a person of electrical engineer, or he's a computer engineer. So he's doing only, he's having a knowledge of the computers and softwares and so on. But what happens in case of this medical field? If you go for the medical field, so in multidisciplinary, this images of the fractures of the bones and analysis of the signals, the electronics engineer will do the very good analysis of this ECG signals, brain signals, muscle signals, and so on. So that's why this multidisciplinary is very essential. So if a person is trained, a student is trained in a 360-degree environment, so he will become a more expert in each and every area. So this is the next policy, that Digital India, to work on this ICT-based projects and so on. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for detailing the universal aspects, predictive outcomes, structure, brain mapping, and many other important factors of NEP 2020 through your presentation. Thank you so much for finding time and sharing your knowledge with all of us. Moving ahead in the series, I would like to invite our next speaker, Dr. Manish Okade, Assistant Professor with the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering at NIT Rourkela. He has completed both his master's and PhD from IIT Kharagpur in the year 2006 and 2014 respectively. He has several awards to his credits, namely Microsoft India Research Travel Grant Award for his visit to Melbourne, Early Career Research Award, and many others. He is currently executing several research projects from Government of India, DRDO, and Ministry of Defence. He has visited several countries and also like to deliver motivational talks. So thank you so much for joining us for today's webinar, and I request you to share your ideas and views regarding this NEP 2020.
Yeah, thank you very much. Before I could start, I would like to thank the beloved principal B.S. Chawla sir. So as we all know, NIT Rourkela and GEC Bilaspur are both linked in the form of TechCube 3. So the first thing I would like to thank is for having me here. Sir, thank you very much. Along with that, Agarwal ji has been very kind, and we have a lot of interactions and we do a lot of TechCube courses. Chief guest Diwakar Mishra ji, as I could see, so I would like to thank him also, and my co-speaker Vadwani sir also for his inspiring talk. So with this, I think I'll get started with my talk, and I'll also have some word with Chawla sir at the last. So before I could start, I'll just keep it very short and very small. I'll speak on holistic as well as multidisciplinary aspects of the new education policy, and we will try to get many examples, and we will try to see how those examples are useful to us, because we finally would like to understand from the example point of view. So I'll keep my presentation very short, so that's what I told, and I want you, the audience, to talk to me as much as possible. So as Deepi Singh ji told that she told that I am a motivational speaker, it's kind of my hobby that I always like to motivate my students, my staff, and whoever I talk to. Because finally, as we see, even in NEP, what we are going to see, we are going to have a lot of motivational things. And I think Chawla sir also told initially also that the entire, he basically summarized my talk in I think 1 or 2 minutes. So basically I will try to little bit expand, and whenever I talk, I try to give as many examples as possible. So it may be going out of syllabus. So that is what NEP is, you go out of syllabus. So we will be going out of syllabus, and we are going to see, you won't believe that we will see some movies along with me. So if my network is okay and if my sharing goes well, then I think we will see one movie with me, and I hope you like that movie. So with this, I think I'll start sharing my screen. I also would like to use the computer sound, because that is what I am trying to share. So you could see my PPT here. So I'll put it in the full screen mode. So it reads, I hope it can be seen. Deepi ji?
Yes, yes, it's quite visible.
Great. Great. So today I'm going to talk towards more holistic and multidisciplinary education through NEP, New Education Policy. And myself, as DPG told, that I am a assistant professor, a faculty member at NIT Rourkela, Electronics and Communication Engineering Department. So as I told, I thank GEC Bilaspur for having me online. In fact, the COVID situation is very, in a sense, good, that it has made us connect very easily, or else it would be tiresome for anybody to travel. So with this brief thing, let's go directly to overview of my talk. My talk is structured roughly 15 to 20 minutes. So I won't take more than that, because majorly everything is covered by my earlier speaker, as well as he told a detailed. So I've got all the things. So I'll just talk to my aspect, that how do we do a holistic and multidisciplinary aspect. So before we go and start, what is the new education policy? Why do we require, and what is this holistic and multidisciplinary education? Today morning I got the pamphlet wherein I was shown, I think you see me 8 years back, but that is not what I look this way as what you see now, right? So I saw my photo and I saw holistic and multidisciplinary education. So that is what I am going to talk about, and finally we'll end with the conclusion. I want to discuss some things with your principal sir also. So what is new education policy? I think this is what Chawla sir told. So in the 21st century, we required a new India, because the aspirations changed, and we wanted to revise this old education, whatever we had, because it was lot of regulation, governance, bureaucracy, so many things. So NEP in short is a 66-page document प्लीज आप जाइए DST के वेबसाइट पे या MHRD के वेबसाइट पे एंड यू विल गेट दिस 66, इट्स अ शॉर्ट एंड स्वीट 66 पेज डॉक्यूमेंट एंड इट इज बेसिकली divided into 4 parts. So I have given different colors for the parts: school education, higher education, key areas, and making it happen means its implementation. So today I am going to only speak about higher education and school education. Wadhwani sir has already covered, and implementation also he has covered. But a very important part, higher education, very focused talk I will give only on the higher education aspect. And due credit goes to former ISRO chairman K. Kasturirangan, who is the actual architect of NEP. So now coming to what is this policy. So as again I repeat Chawla sir what he said, 86 में पुराना policy आया था and it was adopted in 1992. So basically we are 35 to 40 years old policy we are following. And the latest policy was constituted in 2016 under Subramania, the then cabinet secretary, but later on Kasturirangan ji took over and proposed and came up in 2019. 2019 and 2020 I think we remember too well because COVID-19 is called 2019 and 2020 ko nikal dena chahiye from our calendars. So it was put up in 2020 on Ministry of Education, formerly MHRD, as well as mygov.in, Prime Minister's favorite website where he keeps delegating things to open public. So they received over 2 lakhs from the public, and a 484 page document draft was reduced to 66 pages and it was made crisp. So this is the background of new education policy in brief. So if I could summarize, Kasturirangan headed the committee, submitted the report in 2019. It was open for the public for participation, giving suggestions. Then it was revised and recently it came up, cabinet approved it, and its implementation cycle is basically 5 years. So with this, we will go to why education, why new education policy. So why don't we see, you could see 3 things on my screen. So a 25 paise coin, an ambassador, and a Maruti 800. So why don't we use these things, right? So I happened, see, yesterday I was preparing the PPT and I happened to Google this 25 paise coin. So interesting thing happened that I got Snapdeal's link where this 25 paise coin is sold for 25,000. Right, so 25,000 for a 25 paise coin. So if it was known to me, probably I would have kept all my money during demonetization. Basically, then I think 10-20 years later, if my daughter had that, I have 2 daughters. So if they use that 30, 40, 50 years later, they may get, I think, lakhs, because out of those 1,500 rupees, that's what it is. Because so what I'm basically trying to say is, why don't we use this 25 paise coin? Kyun chalta nahi hai? Why don't we use ambassador? To be technically correct, ambassador stopped its production, India production, in 2014, and Maruti 800 also around 2009 it said phased out. Why? Because people started going ahead, moving ahead. Swift aa gaya, new Swift. Then we have this Desire, etc., etc. And it 92 opened basically the economy, and with Manmohan Singh coming into picture, finance minister, the then finance minister. So he opened the economy. So there was a private participation, and all these started phasing out because it becomes old. So now if we cannot use an ambassador car or a 25 paise coin, why do we want to use an old policy 1986 and 1992? Why do we want to use? Though it is good. If it was not good, then its own products are Chawla sir, Agarwal sir, we are own its products. But will it be suitable for my daughter, my son, right, or the next generation? So maybe we need to rethink, right? So that is what was the motivation why new education policy came up. And basically, if you could see, a lot of changes in employment, education happened, global things changed. Things became very discovery oriented. So it was thought that education must build character, enable learners to be more ethical, rational, compassionate, and caring. So this is very important. Reason being, if we don't have the concept of inquiry, if I don't say why, if I don't ask how, if I don't ask what, then there is no question of growth. This was what was planned earlier with our Nalanda system, Takshila system, yes. But slowly, with slow westernization, we tend to lose it. And again, it's like rediscovering the wheel. Again, we have come at a point where we started. So basically, we want our Indian education. So whatever they say, indigenous. Iska Hindi naam hai Atmanirbhar. right? So it was, see, our own nuclear program. It is indigenous. Why do you think it is indigenous? The reason is people did not give us the know-how of nuclear things. So we built it on our own. Our own satellite program. We don't launch it from French Guiana. We launch it from Sriharikota. Why? Reason is because people didn't give us. So अगर आपको कुछ मिला नहीं है, then you struggle to get it, right? So that is the reason the new education policy wanted to include these characters. So you yourself see, yesterday I googled Kasturi Ranganji's age. He's 80-year-old. So if an 80-year-old person believes that, okay, the system should change, I think we of 40, 45, 50 should also evolve and change. So that is why we require a new education policy, because the quickly changing landscapes nowadays, it's not essential that I'm an electronics engineer. In addition to doing electronics, what do I know about policy? How do I interact with my peers? How do I speak over phone, right? So these are all the things which carry forward my personality. So these are the things what we want our children. So it is not necessary that we should higher education means higher education. The NEP, as Vadvaniji sir said, that about even children, school education, there is a big revamp on that also happening. So coming to this, so basically this is the example that I give. I think you have seen this in the other talks, but this is a perfect fit for today's education system, which is prevalent now. So it is basically trying to do it. What do you see the sir here, the teacher here asking? So there are some animals and they are saying your thing will be judged the way in which you climb this tree. So the poor fish, so you could see the fish here. So fish here, how will this fish climb this tree? So वो तो जाएगा ही नहीं, right? वो तो बोलेगा मैं तो हार गया, right? So how, okay, the monkey can, the crow can. How would the elephant do it? How would the penguin do it, right? So each and one of us are unique in our own character, right? The way I speak, right? The way I carry myself is different from the other person. Say I ring my bell of my house. My daughter said, Papa aa gaye. How? Because it leaves a signature. So each one of us are unique, right? मेरे बाल ऐसे है, मेरे हाथ ऐसे है. So everyone is unique. So we have to judge them via their what their skills, what they possess, not via some exams, whatever we write in our papers. Chala sir told it initially that mugging system, right, which we loosely refer to it as mugging system. But even to this date, I asked my daughter, did you mug or did you understand it properly? So there is a need for here, because we should give each one of us, each individual, an opportunity to grow. Sabka banta hai. So I remember this famous this film where they are Super 30. So in that there is a dialogue that राजा का बेटा राजा नहीं बनेगा, वही राजा बनेगा जो who is capable, right? और वही राजा बनेगा जो परिश्रम करेगा. So that's what is told there, right? So if you want to be a king or a queen, then you have to work hard. So it is not only judged by your 3-hour exams. So this is what Albert Einstein told. So this was the main reason why we went for a new education policy. So this is, I am exactly speaking on the holistic and multidisciplinary education aspect. So as I told, part one is school education, part 2 is higher education, part 3 all round, part 4 implementation. So I have been asked only to speak about part 2 higher education. If you see the NEP document, so from page 36 to 38. So basically 3-4 pages only it is, points 11.1 to 11.12. So what is this holistic? So when I say holistic means kya? So say for example, I have given few examples. In ancient India, there were 64 kala. Kala means our Hindi language kala. So this art, right? So it is not that only painting is an art or speaking is an art, singing is an art. No. Mathematics is also an art. Engineering is also an art. Medicine is also an art. Surgery, Shushruta, right? It's also art. So we want to judge each and everyone not by only one aspect, but all the aspects. So that is what was thought. And holistic means, अगर आप देखेंगे, mathematics, engineering, medicine, so यहाँ पे life खत्म हो जाता है for most of us. But what is, some mathematicians are good singers. So what if a course in singing is offered? So they could, I'll come to it a little bit later, give me 5 minutes time, how this singing, painting will come into picture. I think carpentry, I think all of us know. So if I knew the skill of carpentry during lockdown, it would have helped me, because there was no carpenter to come to my house, right? So if I had a gun which could drill, a drilling machine, if I had learned that during my engineering and I had a gun, then I would kind of done it, right? So I don't need somebody to come. So this is what is holistic. We should go across specialization. So these are the few specializations I have listed, and by going across specialization, mathematics, engineering, medicine, right, then it becomes multidisciplinary. Multi means kya? More than one, right? 2, 3, 4 like this. So basically you are trying to take science and put arts and vice versa. So that is what is holistic, every all-round development, as well as you are going to say that it is going to be multidisciplinary across disciplines. So if you see this in a nutshell, what I am trying to say, science, technology, engineering, management, STEM bolte hai isko, STEM is going to get integrated with arts, humanities, vocational. What is vocational? अगर मेरे को carpentry करना आता है, then it's vocational work, right? So how will it lead to positive outcomes, and what is this motivation, student motivation? So I would like to play this, so you will see this, and I'll sit quiet. If you see this, what I'm trying to play, you'll appreciate this. You listen to the dialogues first. So what did we learn from this? Anybody? I could see 100+ participants here. So what do you think? Why did I put this video?
Sir, it says that life is
My
not
name
easy.
is
Okay, please continue. I am not a professor who will get angry very soon, right? So I like multiple answers. Please, we'll make it discussion mode. Both of you can answer, please.
whatever situation comes in our life, we have to accept it and we have to go with the flow of life.
Good. The other person who got jammed in between, please, I want to hear also. Okay, so maybe I'll ask him a little bit later. So like, why did I show you this? See, you mark each of the, it is a 3-minute video with audio, 3 minutes, but I think it is more than 3 books. See, I'll just recreate the scene. See, he is not a teacher at all in a classroom environment. If you have watched MS Dhoni, The Untold Story, he is not a teacher at all. He is his work colleague or his what we cliche call boss, right? Which always we like to please. अरे boss को गुस्सा आ गया तो गया नौकरी गया, right? So he is not his official teacher. But you know what he has done? He has asked him, अरे you mark the words. You ask him what he said. He said that अरे धोनी क्या हुआ यहाँ क्यों बैठे हो, right? Why are you not sitting in your quarter? So if you see, he has understood what is going through his mind and tried to बोलना चाहिए. He said, आपको बोलना चाहिए, बोलो क्या हुआ. So what he says, I am only playing Ranji, right? मैं रंजी खेले जा रहा हूँ, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है सर. So what example he gives? He gives an example that you have to take, as my friend she told us rightly. She told, you should play as per the merit. Merit के हिसाब से खेलना चाहिए. If you have a ball which is juicy full toss, then you should hit it. But if you have a bouncer, then you should duck it. So that is what he told, right? So this is what is missing in our education system. We are telling our children or our students, kitna grade aaya, right? What is your grade? So you mean, that's what the fish example, what we give. So I won't deal much because of lack of time on this, because this is not my talk. But what I'm trying to say is this intersection, if you see, finally it is student motivation. So it is not necessarily student, it means life motivation. So that is missing in our current education system. So we want to come out with positive learning outcomes. We want to make learning enjoyable. See the last thing what he says, tennis ball cricket खेलना है क्या धोनी? So he says, अरे तुम्हारा game अच्छा था, कहाँ था कि वो बिगड़ जाएगा? Because officially they told if you play tennis ball cricket, your game will be bad. So that is what he's trying to play. He said, play, go. You see what will happen in your life. And you see this, I will play the next video also. Flexibility in curriculum, right? Flexible. let him take one more chance. I'll come to the multiple exit entry options very soon. So flexibility in this curriculum, engaging course, etc., by making pedagogy very easy. So if you do that, you know what you will get. You will get this what you are. So I'll just show what you get. Finally, this is what he achieved. So you see this what he achieved. I think all of us have seen this.
Dhoni finishes off in style. A magnificent strike into the crowd. India lift the World Cup. After 28 years, the parties start in the dressing room. And it's an Indian captain who's been absolutely magnificent in the night of the final.
So what does it mean? So what has happened here? So what has basically happened here is, here you see that you are having a system which is basically, if that sir or that colleague of his had not believed in him, I don't think India would have lifted the 2011 World Cup, right? Because the same cliche that you should be doing this, you should be doing a job, you should not be doing this, you should not play, right? So if you do that, if you give Lata Mangeshkar a bat and if you give Tendulkar how to sing, how would they play, right? How would they sing, right? So this the same thing, it is not multidisciplinary is what I'm trying to say. Quickly we'll come to the technicalities of this. The structure and length of the degree program should be adjusted, as Chawla sir told. This is what it is. UG now in the new curriculum in the higher education system would be having 4 options. BTech, it's not only BTech, it may be any other degree of undergraduate. So I have taken BTech because we come from this field. So if you do 1 year and if you go out, then you will only get a certificate. What certificate? You do a TechCube course for 5 days, you will get a certificate. Similarly, you will get 1 year certificate that you did BTech. So suppose in mechanical, then you may get some vocational course like carpentry. You may specialize there. So you will get 1 year exit. So you may leave your program, but if somebody leaves, what is your say? अरे मैं तो drop out हूँ. The current system says अरे मैं drop out हूँ, मैं 12th drop out हूँ, पियोन का job भी नहीं मिलेगा, right? So it is not like this. 1 year, it is giving a traditional send off, right? A nice send off saying that 1 year exit, 2 year exit, you'll get diploma. 3 years exit, you will get only bachelor's degree, which will be enough for the companies, for the industries, etc. 4 year degree, you can do 4th year, you can do research and become eligible to do MTech. So in that case, if you go to MTech, the PG program, you need to do only 1 year. You don't need to do 2 years there because you already have done 4 years of BTech. So basically, effectively, you will have a 5-year BTech MTech. So which is also there, which we call the dual degree or integrated. But we don't have these exit options which is present. So in this new education policy, they have proposed this particular part. And what is this PhD? So integrated BTech, we know, I won't talk about that. What is this PhD? 4-year bachelor's degree with research is currently not eligible. He or she should do MTech and then come. So here he directly becomes eligible to PhD if he has 1 year's master. So after 5 years, you can directly jump to PhD, PhD 3, 4, 5, whatever time you take, you can graduate with a doctorate. So how to envisage this? It is just like our credit bank system. So now all of us have bank accounts, right? Modi sir has ensured that, our prime minister has ensured that Jan Dhan account is there with everybody. So what do we do in these accounts? We go on depositing our money. Similarly, we are going to the policy is going to open an academic bank of credit, where your credit, suppose you do, I teach basic electronics. If you do in NIT Rourkela, being from GEC Bilaspur, if you do a 3 credit course with me, then I will evaluate you online and I will certify you that you wrote the exam, you got this much, and I will deposit it online, right, in the degree credit. So you will get 3 credits from NIT Rourkela. So a GEC Bilaspur student will get a credit from NIT Rourkela, provided he or she clears these formalities. There is no going to be laxity on that. So this is the system we are going to move. And if I get some 80 credits, then I'm having a BTech. If I get 90, then I'm having an MTech. So this is going to become this flexible. So coming to this, how it would be done? They would set up an entity called Multidisciplinary Education and Research Universities. So this is going to, because see, if I want to include singing, if I want to include, these are all arts. So in the university systems, you have arts. And if you really go to Delhi University into this arts stream, they will say there is no registration. सब लोग medical में चले गए, सब लोग engineering में चले गए, यहाँ कोई नहीं आया. So they will be integrated with this. they also will have demand, and we can tell that I am a good singer, I am a good motivational speaker, right? So this quality of me, I am having it from my school days, right? So can I use this for getting credits? Because finally I am invited here to talk on education, right? I want to motivate my audience. So if I can do that, then what about electronics? That will be there. I always know my transistor. It's not that I don't know it, but I may not know it as an academic topper. I may be an average 70-80% of a guy, but I am a good speaker, right? I am a good singer. I am a good painter. I am a good carpentry maker. So I can add all these credits and finally graduate with a degree. So, and to do this, the implementation aspects are too many, just I have written on the slide, but finally it will be, it's the only the policy will not matter, it's implementation, how it is implemented, how many of us cooperate as parents, because this will be applicable to our children also. So will we tell that old katha that pehle wala acha tha, right? Or will we be a little bit better? Nowadays we use bitcoins, right? Nowadays we use this Google Pay. So will we say nahi Google Pay nahi karna? Right? So it will depend on our generation also how we adopt it. It will also depend on government how it will enforce it. So it is something like this. It's a win-win game. So with this is the basic part I am trying to say. And since I am ending my talk here. But since I come from Rourkela, I am known only for my institute. So I am not known otherwise. So I would like to say something about NIT Rourkela, which is also the mentor for GEC Bilaspur. So this is where we stand nationally as well as internationally. In engineering, we are 16. Our overall this 2020 is 32, and we are having this 20 departments. We have 74 programs. We are 360 plus faculty as of today. And I come from electronics and communication, so I have highlighted that we have 2 UG programs, 5 PG and 3 dual degree programs currently. But with new education policy, I am not aware how it will change, but we are ready to take up the change. So these are our academic programs, what we have at NIT Rourkela. It's a fully residential campus, so it's 700 acres. So this is few snapshots of my institute where I am, because this is what I am known for. I am an NIT Rourkela faculty. So this is our playgrounds where we encourage our students for this growth, holistic development. We want them to grow everywhere in everything. We have SAC, Student Activity Center, which does lots of programs, cultural, technical, everything. So we also have an academic sports complex. All this, do come, do visit us and see our campus. We have centers of research. I come from the one which is highlighted, computer vision and pattern recognition. So since I have told about this, so this is my basic profile. I am from Karnataka. I am from a place called Hubli, Dharwad in Karnataka. And I am here in the eastern part because I came to Kharagpur to do my degree. And like Dhoni, maybe I am here, right, in the eastern part. So this is what I am, and MTech and PhD I have done from Kharagpur. And 2014 onwards, I am working with NIT Rourkela. So this is my research. Apart from doing these talks, I do research. I guide students. So this is what we do. This is my laboratory where we do our work. This is what we are engaged in. And these are few honors which I have received. So we'll quickly go through this. We'll not go through because this is my way in which I tell to make people understand that this is an invitation for you to come to our institute, experience our research group, because new education policy is also going to be that. How much of it we are open, right? So this is our this. And we also are having this multinational as well as our other foreign collaborations. So this is we visited Tokyo. I happened to represent our institute at Tokyo last year, just before COVID began. January I was in Tokyo. I returned back in February without COVID. So that I don't know that's what I came back here. Before we left to Japan, this is at Japanese embassy. We had this was the MHRD delegation which left to Japan. So with this, I think I'll not take much time. So I thank everybody for having me here. And I also listened to Chawla sir because I think interrupted him in between when he was about to say something. Sorry for that. Sir, please, I'd like to hear from you.
Thank you very much, Professor. Both the speeches were wonderful. And in time limit, you could sum up very effectively, very nicely. Thank you very much. Professor Arun Wadhwani sir.
Yes, sir.
As well, Professor Okade sir. I'm sure audience must have enjoyed. And now they must have some insight of NEP, though it's quite exhaustive, and time will actually reveal what feature it is carrying, when it will come to implement part. So we all will definitely be effective, will be having impact of it on us. So we'll witness the implementation of this in coming days. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Ganesh, sir, for a very effective and endearing presentation. The way the talk was arranged with beautiful pictures, videos, and quoted with inspirational examples made the whole presentation quite engaging and motivating. As we are expecting our chief guest, Mr. Diwakar Mishra, retired IFS officer and state project administrator of SPIO Chhattisgarh with us for this eve, but unable to contact him for a few reasons. Still, we extend our all sincere regards to him. Moving ahead, I would like to invite Professor Preeti Rajput for vote of thanks. Preeti ma'am.
Thank you, Diti ma'am. Good evening, everyone. I, Preeti Rajput, Assistant Professor, Civil Engineering Department, want to take the opportunity to express my gratitude on this special occasion to all who have helped us in making this program a very resounding success. On behalf of Government Engineering College Bilaspur, I express my heartfelt thanks to our chief guest, Sri Diwakar Mishra, retired IFS, SPA, SPIU Chhattisgarh, respected Principal Dr. B.S. Chawla, GEC Bilaspur, respected heads of the department, faculty members, and participants. I, on behalf of GEC Bilaspur and the entire organizing team here together, and on my own behalf, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to our speaker, Dr. A.K. Wadhwani and Dr. Manish Okade, for taking interest and giving an excellent coverage and making this program a very meaningful and interesting event. I wish to express my gratitude to Dr. B.S. Chawla, Principal, GEC Bilaspur, for providing encouragement to do this program. I also thanks to all the faculties for their cooperation in the institution. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues of GEC Bilaspur who know their job and are result oriented. A big thank to Dr. M.L. Agrawal, Coordinator, Head of Civil Engineering Department, for his effort towards organizing such an event and making the program a great success. Last but not the least, I would like to thank our audience. Without those participation and involvement, no such program is complete. The participants are very enthusiastic and I'm thankful to them. I cannot thank everyone enough for their involvement and their willingness to take on the completion of the task beyond their comfort zone. Once again, I thank you all for cordial cooperation. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Preeti, before concluding, can we have some students' interaction? Some interaction with the speakers and
Sure,
audience?
sir.
Yeah.
That's nice. No doubt, sir. I'm Dr. S. Singhai, sir. Even I want to ask a very small question, very elementary. Can I ask, sir?
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir, with the early exit system in engineering, what will be the future of diploma institutions, sir?
Yeah, I would like to answer this. Basically, diploma courses will kind of merge. These diploma institutes will kind of merge with this. It will be like it will merge with these higher institutes as an offshoot. So basically, that would happen because they would not close, but they would kind of merge. So it will be maybe they will support vocational training for the 1 year exit person. So 2 months of internship, vocational internship, where they could get some certificate and they could collaborate with the nearby industries. And if they have these small jobs, which is okay with 1 year and 1 year plus 2 months of internship. So basically, it will go there. So they will exist. They will not close down, but.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So is there any queries from audience side?
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, I'm Dr. A.K. Shukla, Associate Professor, GC Bilaspur. I have one very small question. as we know that student take admission and get degree and then they go for job. So we are making changes in the education system. So what changes are to be taken in the industry, in the any organization, that these certificate, these degrees will be accepted there? So is there any change going to be there? Is there any plan?
Yeah, I think I'll take this. So I think the industry will be, there is one thing where we are going to, as you see the implementation part, I couldn't cover that because it is the later part. I think Vadvani sir has covered it. So the implementation part would be these industries will basically tie up with the institutes, higher education institutes, and they will tell their requirements. Because if you now also, if you see, as soon as our students graduate with a 4-year BTech program, so they are given 6 months of training. So they are again kind of not utilizable for 6 more months, 4.5 years. So maybe it may happen so that the last year, 6 months or 3 months of the study, they will be doing along with sort of internship. So they will go there and again come back. So implementation aspects are not very clear. So the policy is out. So how it is, that's what I think I concluded by saying that implementation is again important, or else it will become again kagaj ka sher. So I think many things are unclear now. So maybe this is what we think as far as the feedback that we have got, that it will be tie up with the industries with these incubation centers, and they will give the feedback. So this is what I think. I think I'll also ask my co-speaker Vadvani sir also to comment if he has anything.
Yes, sir. I am giving the simple example of this one. Okay, what happens in earlier, we are saying he's an electrical engineer. So he is doing when he joined the industry, so basic requirement is electrical engineering. Or earlier in AICT, suppose a faculty is applying for, a student is applying after BTech MTech program. So he is eligible on the for electrical engineering, not for biomedical engineering or etc. So right. So in multidisciplinary branch, so he is eligible to each and every course. And another example, practical example मैं आपको बताता हूँ. For example, कि कोई BE किया इलेक्ट्रिकल में, MTech किया इलेक्ट्रिकल. After that, जो in case of medical field, I am taking the example of the medical field. एक कोई फिजिशियन है, तो उन्होंने क्या किया कि जैसे जो रेडियोलॉजिस्ट होते हैं, वो रेडियोलॉजिस्ट क्या करते हैं कि आपका रिपोर्ट बना के आपको देते हैं, एक्सरे करेंगे, CT स्कैन करेंगे. सो इन केस ऑफ दिस इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग कंप्यूटर साइंस जो बीटेक जिसने बीटेक कंप्यूटर साइंस में किया है, बीटेक इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इंजीनियरिंग में किया है, वो सब भी क्या करेंगे, दे आर आल्सो एलिजिबल फॉर द बायोमेडिकल इंजीनियरिंग. और वो कंप्यूटर इंजीनियरिंग का क्या काम होगा, वो बहुत अच्छे से एनालिसिस कर सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल द पर्सन हैविंग ए फ्रैक्चर, राइट, तो बोन फ्रैक्चर्स, उन बोन फ्रैक्चर्स का क्या इमेजेस लेंगे, वेरियस इमेजेस लेके उनका बाय यूजिंग सॉफ्ट कंप्यूटिंग टेक्निक्स उनके इमेजेस से उसको इसके एग्जैक्ट लोकेशन एंड डायमेंशन निकालेंगे, और वो निकाल के फिजिशियन को, ऑर्थोपेडिक्स को बताएंगे दिस इज द एग्जैक्ट लोकेशन एंड द डायमेंशन ऑफ द फ्रैक्चर, राइट. तो वो क्या कर देंगे, वो एक अपना सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर, सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयमेंट. और वो साथ में जैसे जैसे उनका एक सिंपल आपने 12 वाट 15 वाट की एक्स्ट्रा मशीन ली, और उससे आपने जो रेडियोलॉजिस्ट काम करते हैं वो काम ये इंजीनियर्स करके डॉक्टर्स को देंगे, राइट. सो इसी तरीके से फॉर द अर्ली एंड एक्यूरेट डायग्नोसिस ऑफ द डिजीजेस ऑफ द हार्ट सिग्नल, द ब्रेन सिग्नल एंड मसल सिग्नल्स, राइट. तो उनका एनालिसिस करके भी वो बायोमेडिकल इंजीनियरिंग उनको दे, डॉक्टर्स को देगा. तो उससे क्या होगा कि एक तो सिस्टम में जो जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ बायोमेडिकल इंजीनियरिंग. सपोज ए पर्सन इज सफरिंग फ्रॉम 3 टाइप डिजीज 1, डिजीज 2 एंड डिजीज 3, हैविंग अ सीवियरिटी ऑफ 10%, 30% एंड 70%. अब वो डॉक्टर के पास गया, तो डॉक्टर ने क्या किया, उसको विजुअलाइज किया है. विजुअलाइज करने के बाद उसको देखता है और बताता है कि आपको ये डिजीज है, और उसकी मेडिसिन चालू कर देता है. 5 दिन बाद फिर डॉक्टर्स कहते हैं, जनरली कहते हैं कि आप 5 दिन बाद दिखाना, 7 दिन बाद जाके दिखाना. फिर उसको फॉलो अप करते हैं. 7 दिन के बाद वो कहता है कि नहीं मेरे को अभी ठीक नहीं होती. डॉक्टर्स कहते हैं नहीं, यू आर सफरिंग फ्रॉम डिजीज 2 आल्सो. और 15 दिन के बाद फिर कहते हैं कि यू आर आल्सो सफरिंग फ्रॉम द डिजीज 3. तो जो पेशेंट है वो 1 महीने में जाके ठीक होता है. तो क्यों? क्योंकि बिकॉज जो स्टार्टिंग में जो डे 1 उसका स्टार्टिंग में कितना था, डिजीज की सीवियरिटी 10 थी, 30 थी और 40 50 थी। तो जो 10 वाली थी वो बढ़ के 30 तक हो गई 15 दिन बाद, और जो 30 थी वो 70 हो गई। तो डॉक्टर्स को वो भी दिखने लगती है। तो दैट्स व्हाई दिस मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी का यहाँ पर जो सबसे बड़ा रोल है, जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इंजीनियरिंग, इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग, कंप्यूटर साइंस इंजीनियरिंग या IT इंजीनियरिंग, ये सब इसके आइडेंटिफाई करके उसको बता सकते हैं कि these are the simultaneously at the same time कि he is suffering from 3 type of disease with a severity of this one। फिर वो जब फिजिशियन के पास जाएगा तो फिजिशियन क्या करेगा, साइमल्टेनियसली उनको तीनों की मेडिसिन दे देगा। जो डिजीज की सीवियरिटी ज्यादा है उसका हाई डोज, जिसका कम है उसका मीडियम डोज, और जिसका बहुत कम है उसका एकदम लाइट डोज। तो पेशेंट आपका 7 दिन में ठीक हो जाएगा। सो दिस इज अभी तक क्या होता है, जो ये काम केवल रेडियोलॉजिस्ट ही कर रहे थे, अब ये आपके सभी करेंगे। बायोमेडिकल इंजीनियरिंग भी करेगा, कंप्यूटर साइंस और इंजीनियरिंग भी करेगा, IT वाला भी करेगा, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इंजीनियरिंग भी करेगा। इसी तरीके से तो रोल ऑफ सिविल इंजीनियरिंग, मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग अलग अलग ब्रांचेस में करेंगे। जस्ट मैंने एक एग्जांपल बताया, राइट सर?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
अच्छा, फॉर एग्जाम्पल था, जैसे मेरे यहाँ पर भी AICT में प्रोजेक्ट भेजा था, तो उस समय मेरा ये सैंक्शन हो गया और मेरे पास एक्सरे मशीन है। तो स्टूडेंट्स आर डूइंग दी वर्क ऑन द एक्सरे मशीन, दे आर टेकिंग खुद वो अपना मतलब ये लाइव मतलब रियल टाइम में एक्सरे लेते हैं, फ्रैक्चर्स को एनालाइज करते हैं बाय यूजिंग द डिफरेंट टेक्निक्स।
तो वाधवानी साहब ने न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी जो है वो इम्प्लीमेंट भी कर दी है।
हाँ सर, यस सर, यस सर,
मेड द थिंग्स इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी।
हाँ यस सर। और सर, और मेरा एक स्टूडेंट था जो PhD के ऊपर काम कर रहा है, वो इसके ऊपर भी कर रहा है कि जो एस्ट्रोलॉजिकल है ना सर, जो अपने महामृत्युंजय मंत्र हैं, और इनसे हाउ टू उसका जो इम्पैक्ट है उसके ऊपर कितना पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट पड़ रहा है, किस तरह से हीलिंग हो रही है, उसके ऊपर भी दे आर डूइंग द वर्क। वन स्टूडेंट डूइंग PhD on this topic. It is known as the sound therapy and the stone therapy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Manish sir and Vadhwani sir, for all your answers to the different queries. Sir, can we wrap up this session now, or is there something else we need to do?
No, ma'am, I want to ask something.
Yes.
Myself, Ritesh Agrawal from ETMT. Sir, I want to ask a question that you can say when will this policy will be in action, means guess, any guesses?
Yeah, I think I'll tell this. I think the plan is 10-year time frame they have given, and each year has a milestone. So I think Vadhwani sir covered it and he showed the milestone. I saw the graph what he showed. So that is exactly what is they have given 2030 tak. So but it is not waiting till 2030. It will immediately start, but phase wise karenge 2030 tak reach hoga. So I think Vadhwani sir, please, you are an expert, so better I think you can answer.
Yes sir, 2030 तक इसमें ये प्लान है कि 2030 तक सभी जो फैकल्टी है सभी मल्टी डायरेक्शन में ट्रेंड हो जाएंगी। दिस इज द एम। स्टार्ट तो अभी से हो जाएगा। 2030 तक ऑल फैकल्टी विल बी ट्रेंड, ऑल स्टूडेंट्स विल बी ट्रेंड। दिस इज द एम।
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Is there someone else who wants to give feedback regarding this webinar? I'm repeating it again. If someone wants to give some feedback regarding this webinar, they can come forward and share their views.
Ma'am, it's me again, Ritesh Agrawal.
Okay. Ritesh, go on.
Ma'am, I want to really thank both of the sir, Manish sir and Vadhwani sir. Actually, I have already read this policy but never fully got that. Now I know what actually the policy means. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ritesh.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you for this and sir, these inspirational words, and this is very encouraged to me. And thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Is there someone else?
Ma'am?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I also like to give the feedback, ma'am.
Definitely.
Good evening, sir. My name is Diptanshu Srivastava. I am from, actually, I'm currently pursuing mining branch. So I want to say thank you to both of you, sir, Manish sir and Wadhwani sir, for the fantastic webinar, sir, because the way you gave us all the details about the policies which are going to come and how it's going to implement, sir. And even the Manish sir about that how the degrees can help and what can be the uses of the diploma and BTech and researches and tech. So thank you, sir, for all this knowledge which will help in our future to be successful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. So with this, we come to the end of this webinar. But before wrapping up, I would again like to thank you everyone for joining us for today's session. We wish to see you again in the future. Till then, take care and have a great days ahead in your life. Thank you again. Thank you so much for finding time and joining us for this webinar.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye. Have a nice day. I'll leave. Thank you.
Thank you, Wadhwani sir. Thank you, Manish sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.